Hello everyone. For the most part, medium tanks in the game World of Tanks are versatile vehicles that can take on several roles on the battlefield. For example, you can go to fight up close with the enemies, or take a position for effective shelling at a distance. Due to their mobility, medium tanks have the ability to quickly change position, and due to the presence of armor, at a short distance to fire with heavy enemy tanks. Now we will talk about the top 5 best tier 10 medium tanks in World of Tanks. It is also worth noting that this will contain only those tanks that can be obtained by any player at the moment. For example, Object 907 will not be here. So, here we go. 5th place. So, in 5th place is the Czech medium tank, TVP-T5051. Perhaps we should start with the fact that this tank has a very complicated researching tree, up to the 9th tier, Hello Cheesy TVP-VTU, located on the 8th tier. The TVP-T5051 itself has both weighty advantages and weighty disadvantages. The main advantage of the tank is the availability of clip capacity for 4 rounds. Damage of the shot is 320, reload time between shots is only 1.5 seconds. Also, fast reload time of clip capacity, only 25 seconds. Playing on this tank, you'll get a lot of positive emotions from the fun gameplay. Dynamics and mobility are also at a high level. The specific engine power is 25 horsepower per ton, and the maximum speed is 60 km per hour. Now let's move on to the disadvantages of the tank. The armor penetration of the base projectile is only 248 mm, which is extremely low for a medium tank of the 10th level. Armor penetration with a premium shell is also quite mediocre, 300. The TVP-T5051 is only in 5th place because of its low armor penetration. Well, it's time to move on to 4th place. 4th place. In 4th place is the German medium tank, Leopard 1. This tank has a lot of weighty advantages and only one disadvantage, which we will talk about further. Among the advantages is a magnificent by all characteristics of the gun. Excellent damage, 420, excellent armor penetration, 278 base shells and 323 premium shells, amazing accuracy, stabilization and aiming time. Good damage per minute, over 3000. Mobility and dynamics are also at a high level. The specific engine power is 20 horsepower per ton. The maximum forward speed is 70 km per hour. Now about the disadvantages of the Leopard 1. This tank has only one disadvantage, it is the lack of armor. Carelessly got under fire from enemies, consider you dead. You will be shot in any projection of the tank, any shells. Because of this, the game on this tank is to support allies at a distance. Because Leopard 1 has difficult gameplay, it is only in 4th place. If you know how to play well, this tank will be the best medium tank of the 10th level for you. 3rd place. In 3rd place is another German medium tank, E50M. After the recent buff, this huge monster is tearing up everyone who gets in its way. Looking at the characteristics of the tank, it is clear that it is a medium heavy tank. The gun at first glance may seem weak, as for a medium tank, but it is not so. Of the disadvantages of the gun can be highlighted except the low damage per minute. Otherwise, the gun is awesome, excellent stabilization, accuracy and aiming time. Good damage, 390, excellent armor penetration, 270 mm with a base shell and 330 with a premium shell. Also, due to the fact that the tank is tall, it is convenient to target the vulnerable areas of the enemy vehicles. Let's not focus on the mobility of the tank, I will just say the tank has good mobility for such a huge fool. The E50M has good frontal armor, which is not easy to penetrate for level 10 tanks, as well as good side armor, 80 mm. The combination of armor and mobility allows this tank to ram enemy vehicles very effectively, demolishing up to 1000 hit points with a successful ram. In general, gameplay on this tank comes down to shooting up close with enemy heavy tanks, as well as to break through the flank with allied medium tanks. Before you go to the 2nd place, I suggest you look at my top 5 of the best tier 10 heavy tanks. So, let's move on. 2nd place. In 2nd place are 2 medium tanks 10th level. The Soviet Abayek 430U, and the Chinese 121. These tanks are very similar to each other and it would be a wrong decision to single out one of them. So, let's look at these machines. Both of these tanks have a powerful, as for a medium tank, gun with 440 damage. Armor penetration of the base projectile of the Object 430U is 252 mm. The 121's base shell armor penetration is 10 mm higher than that of the Object 430U and is as much as 262 mm, which is a record among all 10th level medium tanks. Armor penetration with a premium shell for both vehicles is 340 mm. In general, the guns of these tanks are similar, they have not the best stabilization, accuracy and aiming time. Damage per minute for 121 is over 3,200, for Object 430U, over 3,000. In terms of armor, 121 has medium, balanced armor. Sometimes you will not be penetrated by tanks of your level, but you should not rely on armor too much. Object 430, in turn, is better armored than many heavy tanks. The frontal projection of the tank is only one weakened zone, the lower armor plate, otherwise it is almost impossible to penetrate this monster. As a result, these two tanks are practically the same. 121 has a slightly better gun, and 430U has slightly better armor. The gameplay on these tanks is simple and intuitive. In a duel with enemy medium tanks, thanks to good damage, you can roll out, take a little damage and shoot back 440. These tanks are suitable for both good players and beginners. First place. The undisputed leader among all Tier 10 medium tanks is the Japanese STB-1. This tank combines many advantages that no other medium tank in World of Tanks has. An incredibly amazing gun. Damage per shot is 360, combined with a reload of less than 6 seconds, damage per minute is over 3,700, which is a record among all medium tanks of the 10th level. The accuracy, stabilization and aiming time of the STB-1 are also very, very good. Armor penetration with the basic shell is 258mm, with the premium shell 340mm. A very important feature of the tank is depression angle. The gun depression angle is as much as 14 degrees. Combined with the excellent armor of the turret, you can effectively stand in position and fire with the enemy, hiding the hull behind relief. The hull, by the way, is poorly armored, but this does not prevent you from playing effectively on this tank. STB-1 also has an excellent turning speed and good dynamics. The specific engine power is 25 horsepower per ton, and the maximum forward speed is 50 kilometers. This tank is amazing, there is nothing more to say. In conclusion, I would like to say that medium tanks, today, are the most imbalanced and universal class of vehicles. It is the medium tanks that most of all influence the result of the battle. All the presented tanks from this top are perfect for ranked battles and just to get pleasure from pleasant and interesting gameplay. Good luck to everyone and remember, enjoy the game.